Hey, what's up, everybody? For your fix of fitness, health, life, and laughs, you know where it's at. That's right, it's at the Poecast with your host, yours truly, Adam Pullman.
Hello and welcome to this episode of the Poecast. This is the show where all of your health, fitness, and nutrition questions are answered by me, your host and coach, Adam Pullman. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about what to do. How do you get back to training after you have been sick? So make sure you tune into that if you've been feeling under the weather, and if you're wanting to get back into it, but you're just not sure if you should. Is it bad? Is it good to work out when you're recovering? So we're going to talk more about that today. Now, if you're new to the show and you don't really know what the heck is going on right now, here's how it works. So this show is listener driven. So 90% of the episodes that I put out are based on questions that you guys send in as listeners. All right. So this question was sent in by a listener. You can send in questions that you'd like to have answered. Here's how you do that. So if you go to Instagram and you look up the handle Adam_PullmanFit, that would be my handle. You'll find me there. And then on my story, you'll just see a question box throughout the week that says, ask me a question or ask me anything. And that is your green light to submit as many health, fitness, and nutrition questions as you would like. Seriously, as many as you would like. The more, the merrier. And I'll answer them there briefly on the story and then in long form in detail here on the show. So that's how you go ahead and do that. Now, whether you are new or you're someone that's been listening for a while and you enjoy the show, leaving a rating and review is a great help. Okay, it helps spread the word about the show, helps it reach more people so they can get their questions answered and we can make a bigger impact. So if you haven't yet, please leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. That way I can continue doing what I love, like making episodes like these. All right. Now, if you want more valuable content and you want some more info on how to improve your personal health and fitness, I've got a couple of places that you can go. All right. The first one is a free Facebook group that I have that is set up for people that are health conscious, already doing something to improve their health, fitness, and nutrition, but they're just not seeing the results that they want, or they need more info on how to get the exact results that they want. Maybe they're just spinning their wheels a little bit. So they want to go a little bit more in depth. So if you want access to that Facebook group, just go ahead and send me a message on Instagram. Just send me a message that says Facebook group and I will send it to you. No problem there. And then the last place that I want to send you to for valuable free information is the free page on my website. So if you go to pullmanfitness.com/free, you will see a lot of articles and guides that you can download and get valuable information from absolutely free. So that's POEHLMANN fitness.com/free. Now, before we go into the next section, which is what's on my mind, let's talk about the affiliate for this episode. Now, this is Magic Spoon, delicious high protein cereal that is it's freaking amazing. Okay. I had a huge bowl this morning. It's running a little bit late, running out the door. So I needed some protein without having to make some sort of whole ordeal. I had cinnamon flavor. I like that flavor. My favorite's the fruity and the blueberry. I love that one. I also like mixing the strawberry and banana. Those I think are exclusive flavors though. They're only out for a short period of time, but you can check to see. I think they've got some honey walnut or maple waffle out right now. That sounds delicious. I'm going to have to get my hands on some of that. Oh, my dog is bringing the ball to me. He says he wants to play. Not now, buddy. So go ahead and go to magicspoon.com and use the code PullmanFit at checkout, and you will get $5 off of your order. All right, here's what's on my mind today. Core values, okay? Core values. I can't stress enough how important it is to have core values. I wish this is something that I appreciated more when I was younger. You see, it's popular now for like companies and businesses to have core values. But I think as individuals, we all need to have core values because it keeps us grounded. It keeps us focused. It keeps us true to who we are. It makes it easier to make decisions, to not be insecure about things that we do, to possibly, affirm the things that we do rather than just kind of going with the flow and being sheep. And I just think core values are extremely, extremely important. Now, we're all going to have different core values. We're all going to have things that we value more than other things. But at the end of the day, it's about figuring out who you are so you can stay true to that. You can feel better about the decisions that you make, feel better about the things that you do in your life, and you can honestly have some more confirmation as to whether or not things do or don't align with you. If you haven't taken the time to figure out who you are, what you truly believe in, what you stand for, not what media tells you to believe in, not what social media tells you to stand up for, not what your friend thinks you should believe in, but what you as an individual, what you truly believe in, whether that's morally, ethically, spiritually, whatever it is. You need to figure out what your core values are so you don't sway with the wind, right? So you stay grounded and firm in who you are and you're able to live that out in the world. All right. So I highly recommend taking some time to sit down, maybe do some personality tests, maybe, look for some resources on core values and figure out what your core values are. This is not something that you should just go spend 15 minutes on. I highly recommend taking a weekend, taking a long day, maybe hours and hours spent at a coffee shop, really just kind of thinking about life, thinking about who you are, what you believe in, the person that you want to strive to be, what that person would do. Take some time to really explore yourself and figure out what your core values are. And I think the more that you figure out what those are and the more you believe those core values, the easier it will be to conduct yourself securely in a very, very, very insecure world. Okay, so that's what's on my mind today. Today's question is from Lily Simon, and the question is how to start training again after having the Rona. Well, I'm sorry you had the Rona. I hope you're feeling better. Hope you're recovering well. So here's the thing. It depends on where you're at. With most illnesses, light movement can actually help facilitate recovery. Can actually help facilitate recovery. It is a big misconception, I feel like, that you should just lay and just do absolutely nothing all the time. Not that that's bad by any means, but more often than not, just doing something like some walking, maybe some stretching or some mobility work, just some light activity I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but can help. Obviously, it depends on the severity of your illness, the sickness that you have, all that good stuff. And with this stuff too, especially when it comes to being sick, always make sure you're talking to your doctor and taking their advice because they're going to know you, your condition, your health, your sickness best. Okay. But generally speaking, light activity can certainly help. Now, the question is, how do I get back into training? Well, ease back into it. I know that's like, well, duh, of course, ease back into it, but how? There really isn't a how, just ease back into it. So one thing that I would recommend, okay, is gauging how you feel. So if you go into the gym and you're like, oh, I feel gung-ho, I feel great, reduce that by about 30%, okay? And then work out at that intensity. If you feel like poo, reduce that even by 30% and work out based on that, or walk based on that, mobility based on that, okay? So oftentimes what people do is they recover from being sick and then they just go right back into it at full intensity just because they feel good. Like they're not tired anymore, their body doesn't ache anymore, they feel quote unquote normal or like they did before. But that doesn't necessarily mean that your body is able to handle the stress of working out like it did before. It might need a few days or a week to kind of ease back into it. So here's what I would do. I would go back into that workout that you have next, and I would actually just do like 50% of normal intensity, okay? And then gauge how you feel the next day. If you're super achy, you're super sore, like, okay, that was a little too hard. Maybe I need to take it down a little bit next time. If you feel great, you feel wonderful, up the intensity again. The next workout, you feel great again after that, up it again until you get back to your normal intensity. But you're gonna kind of have to gauge how your body feels after a reduced intensity workout to kind of see where you're at. So I would just go in, cut your normal intensity in half, see how you feel the next day, the day after that, and adjust from there. Now, one thing that I also recommend, depending on how many days a week you're working out, is possibly reducing that. So let's say you normally work out 6 days a week. just work out 3 days a week and see how you feel during those 3 workouts. If you normally work out 2 days a week, you're totally fine, in my opinion, to keep those 2 workouts. You could, of course, just do 1, but you can kind of keep those 2 workouts, see how you feel as you do that, and then ease back into it. But the big thing is going to be the intensity in that first workout, because trust me, I've done this so many times. It's going to be so tempting, especially if you feel good. After, being sick, going into the gym for the first time, it's going to be so tempting to just be like, all right, right back to where I left off, squatting 200 pounds, deadlifting this, benching this, overhead pressing this, boom, right back into it. But working out is a big stressor on your body, and it might not just be ready for that yet. And we don't want to impact your overall recovery. So just bring the intensity down by half and ease into it. See how you feel the day after and make adjustments from there. Unfortunately, there isn't follow this exact step-by-step protocol and you will be totally fine. Just because there's so much individual variance, it's going to differ from person to person, and it's not always going to be guaranteed. Okay, so you just kind of have to feel out your body and see how you feel. Another thing that's going to be impacting that possibly is the fact that you've likely not consumed much food over the last week or 2 weeks or however long it's been that you've been feeling those symptoms. Your appetite likely went away. I don't know too many people that get sick and just feel like they want to stuff their face all the time. I don't know any people that feel that way. Usually you reduce your food intake. And so your body might be a little depleted, whether it's of glycogen or whatnot. And so therefore you might not even be able to keep up with that intensity. Okay. That you normally do. So make sure you're addressing your nutrition as well. That's going to help you get back into the intensity that you normally did with your training. So focus on your micronutrient intake. You're having colorful plates, getting your greens in, getting your veggies in, you're getting protein in. You're just sticking with mostly high quality, whole natural foods. I would also recommend foods that are easy to digest because it's likely that you haven't been eating much. So to give your digestive system a little bit of a easy transition back into it, prioritize foods that are a little bit easier to digest. For example, if you digest white rice a lot easier than most other carbohydrates, make that one of your primary sources of carbohydrates, but only you're going to know that as far as what your body does well with and what it doesn't do well with. So those are the recommendations I would give. I hope that helps in some way, but remember, at the end of the day, you know yourself best. All right. So if you know somebody that could benefit from listening to this, spread the love, share it with them. Let them know that this is where they can go to get all of their health, fitness, and nutrition questions answered.
Oh my goodness, I cannot believe it is over already. Hey, thank you guys so much for listening to the Poecast. Hey, listen in. If you have a health and fitness goal that you are trying to reach, I don't know what else to say other than to say it must be a match made in heaven. If you didn't know already, Pullman Fitness exists to transform the body, mind, and spirit through personal coaching and sustainable fitness plans for any stage of life. So, if you want to reach your goals, build sustainability, and enjoy life all at the same time, you guys got to check out Premier Coaching at Pullman Fitness. From custom-tailored programming to 24/7 access to your personal coach, you'll have everything that you need to succeed. You guys can find out a lot more about Premier Coaching as well as our membership program at pullmanfitness.com. Hey, if you enjoyed the show, share the love by leaving a 5-star review and introducing the Poecast to your friends and family. As always, thank you so much for listening, and until next time, this is the Poecast.